Okay, here we go with Next Gen Math. We have Kevin and Christy here. We're going for a tour. This is fifth grade Standards Builder. We're going to give you a big education on what drives the platform. This is a platform that mirrors the Common Core state standards. You can see all by domains. And what we have here are the standards. When I hover over a rounded rectangle, what that is, it pops up what we call a stem, a question stem. So this is OA1 version 1, OA1 version 2, OA1 version 3. So big idea in our platform is really about how we generate questions in printable. And then I'm just going to click on that particular, yeah, that's a good one. I'll click on that stem. And when I click on that stem, what appears now are questions. Okay, these are the questions that we just generated from that stem. Notice on the questions that the sentence structure stays the same. Elliot earns 25 bucks per hour, which expression, blah, blah, in 9 hours. The next question, Kaylin earns $15 per hour, which expression, blah, blah, in 8 hours. So notice that the sentence structure is staying the same. What changes are the nouns and the numbers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Upper left-hand corner, I'm going to click refresh questions. And every time I click refresh questions, notice how the questions are changing. So we almost have an unlimited question bank based off those stems. What do you think about having an unlimited question stem bank?
It seems nice. Yeah. It would be cool when you need that extra practice when you've then gone back and retaught it and you need another version of it.
Very good. So I'm going to click back, the back arrow. Now what I'm going to do is show you how we build an activity and how this looks like on an online environment, okay? Before I build the activity, notice there are blue rounded rectangles. The blue is the supporting standards. Gold is the major standards. And we know from our cast, we're going to spend 68 to 80% of our time on the gold. We say go for the gold. What we can do to build an activity, check this out. We drag and drop question stems into the builder. Okay, so I just did that. We give it a title. I'll give it a title. We'll call this practice. Hopefully I spelled that correctly because I can't see it there. There we go. Click OK. Okay, now I'm going to show you the online version, online view. Online view. This is the online view. This is what your kids would see online. This is a question that was created. Notice that we have video support. So there's some video support that's there. That's based off of the stem. You do not have to go searching for it. That's the first question, second question, third question, fourth question, fifth question, that's there. And we also have a keypad so that way kids can practice, especially at putting those fractions into the system. And then also there are drawing tools so that way students can draw, teacher can draw from the platform as well. All that is saved. So that's the online view. Any questions that you might have on the online view?
Yeah, I have a couple. Do you have that same thing where you can just refresh like that same set of standards with different questions?
Yep. And I'll show you.
When
Go
you
ahead.
talked about, I'm going to throw this one in too. When you talked about, I can draw in there too. So can you do this? You could do this as like an assignment for the kids, but could I also do it as like a live administration thing where we're like going through it together? Question mark. Is there like that teacher led pacing of it?
Yes, I'll show you. We'll do it right now on this assignment. So we had two things asked. So here we go. I clicked assign to assign it. Okay. And so upper right-hand corner, this is where probably the most important decision to make. Right now, the students receive the exact same assignment because the dynamic questions are off and shuffled orders off. And that's like the PDF, like one PDF. If I turn dynamic questions on, students receive different questions from the same stems in the same order. What that means is that every student gets the same sentence frame, but they get different numbers, different nouns. I think, does that answer your question, Kevin?
Yeah, I guess is there like a pacing to it too, where like I could give this as an assignment and you could all have different questions and work at your own pace. But could I also do something where it's like, hey, we're going to do the exact same one. So dynamic questions off, shuffled order off.
Yes. So right here, I'm gonna put practice off and off. So dynamic questions are off and off. And so I'm gonna go and click add all. That's how you would add all your kids. I'm going kind of quick here, but
I mean, all of this stuff, is like I feel like I can figure out how to
okay, got
mess
it.
around with that.
Okay, so now when I click create assignment, we're now going to view the assignment. So the original assignment was built. It goes into my collection. Okay, practice is in my collection. An assignment, and that sits there forever. You can access it anytime. But the data that comes from it is an assignment data. See where it says practice off and off?
Mm-hmm.
That's where the data is going to come to on the kids. Okay. So now the question was, hey, I want to teach as the kids have their problem in front of them, correct?
Yeah.
So basically what we do, we'll just click on that row. Clicking on that row, we get this info panel, upper right-hand corner. And so it says results. There's no results right now, but see where it says preview? Mm-hmm. When I click preview, because this is off and off, I can have the exact assignment the kids have. So this problem right here is the same problem the kids have, and in this and in the same order.
Can we look at what some of the data looks like? And then the other thing I liked a lot when we saw you guys was that then it like populated all the other standards you would need if they missed a question, and it kind of populates all those like previous standards that they would need to work on. Was that right?
Yep. Okay, we'll do both. Since I'm in the builder right now, we're going to go and populate the that what you're referring to is what's called the progression playlist. We want to click this down arrow and then click the next down arrow. So so we're going to move this 5th grade stem down here. This is a 2nd grade stem because it starts with a 2. That's a 3rd grade, 4th, 5th. Mm-hmm. Let's view this. We'll still keep it as practice right now. We'll printable view. This is what it looks like. It just populated. Here's that's a 2nd grade question with some 10 frames. There's the next questions coming up. That's probably our 3rd grade questions right there with 2 and 3. Number 4, that's another patterning one. I think that might be 4th grade. And there's your 5th grade question. Let's see. Yeah, there's our 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. So
and does it differentiate after the students have done one of the 5th grade, and does it tell you what each student might need, or do you just go back and say, oh, they didn't do well, let me?
Okay, so like on this particular assignment, we had 5 stems. Okay, so we'll think about it. And so I think your question is, hey, of these 5 stems, Johnny needs to work with, I don't know, 2, 3, and 4, right? Take their first assignment. This is take 1. You get data like this so this is domain level data. So the kids scored 57%. I mean, that's overall data. I could click domain, and now I have the domain score. It was just one domain. I could open up standards. I could see how they performed on the standards. But this is really where you want to get to is the stems. So these are the stems that the kids focused on. And I can turn off standards and domains and even get closer to these stems. And these are your grade levels. These are your classroom teachers. Christy, if you push this out, you could do this. You could push an assignment out to all 3rd or 5th grade or this, and have 5 classroom teachers right here. We can talk on that, but that's what that would look like. So, but the question really is, hey, how can you help? What do you do with the data at this point? If I click up here where it says blended learning, this is where an individualized learning, this is where we do some grouping. So on blended learning, this is what this is telling me. On this particular stem, which was this question. We won't read it, but there are a lot of words there. On this particular question, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 students need additional support. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And then, in fact, you have the ability to do 2 things. There's practice questions right here where the teacher can teach from, because this is where the teacher would jump into action. But also, you can now assign these 6 students, blended learning off and off. I'm going to put off and off right here because it's going to go out the same way we did before with off and off for that reteaching piece that we were talking about earlier. I'm just emulating that one more time. So if I click assign, now those students just got 3 questions. Where it is, right there. They just got 3 questions. And I'm clicking preview. I'm in the teacher account right now.
I have to go. I think my only big question would be, and then Kevin can get it, is I'm not sure if you're familiar with Edulastic, which is what our district has, which does all of this, but I think the only thing different would be the previous standards, maybe.
Does it do all the just drag and drop the standards in and create questions?
I think you click them, but I'm not sure. That's what I would like to play with. But I would be curious, it can't hurt to pilot and see if it's an easier platform or if it gives you more information. The one thing I see, because I didn't get to use Edulastic as much as I would have liked, is the previous standards. That it is cool if you click on it. I don't know if ours does anything like that, but I'm not sure if you're even familiar with the Edulastic platform.
Yeah, I'm not that familiar.
Okay.
So this is one of the first conversations I've had with Edulastic.
Oh, okay. I'm just curious because that's what we have to use here as well. So, I mean, to pilot, it would be nice to, compare the two. Yeah. But I was just curious. And then my other question was sorting by claim or DOK, but I saw that on the sign on the side. You can pull up questions.
Mm-hmm.
I like that it saves the students' work when they draw on it.
Yeah. And then that last thing you were showing us, so with the kids that are struggling, did that just repopulate questions of the same stems from that same grade level, or did it go back and say, okay, because they missed these, we're going to make this assignment with the previous standards that they would need to?
What it did is that it took the current data that was there. And if you recall, we had that come in it came in by the STEM. So if your activity was built by different grade level STEMs, it would give you that particular grade level that the kids need to, right? So if you know the STEM, you now can go back to here, drag the STEM over, and then populate what you want, because teacher probably wants to have good influence on what activities you want to do, right?
Yeah.
So you
could have one STEM from each grade just to see where they.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have to go. It was very nice to meet you, and I'll get everything else from Kevin, I'm sure.
Okay, sounds good.
Principal.
Great.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you, Christy. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks for taking the time.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Let's see. Other big ideas. I don't know. Well, do you have any other questions, Kevin, before I go in a couple other spots?
I think those were my big ones. Yeah. And then I guess I'm kind of interested. That was kind of news to me, because I feel like that would be the worry if our Edulastic program does too many of those things. They're probably going to say no. But I'd be interested to see, because I don't know how to use our Edulastic program like that at all. They make quizzes for us on there, and we just sign those and we do our district benchmarks on there. But I've never really seen creating a test like that on Edulastic, or an assignment like that.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think I have any other big questions, unless there's just other things that you feel like are important to see.
Yeah, I'll show you one other concept over here: procedural fluency, where you can see the power of influencing the system is let's say multiplication, and I choose a preset of, let's say, I don't know, double digit by double digit. You have these kind of abilities in here. You can change the question layout. Let's say you want to do horizontal. If for some reason you want to do, I'll do mixed, a variety of things. Now this might be a little big to do, right? But I can scale that down just because the preset I chose was probably not the best one, but I could scale this down right here to 1 to 9.
Cool.
And, let's see what this does now. And I need to change this up to, let's say 1 to 81. This might be a little more realistic. Okay. But you can see how you can influence the platform.
And then are those separate? Like, then I guess my question would be, because I don't even know if this is a question, like that would just be two separate things you assign, or could you like then start like merging these and be like, okay, you're going to get some fluency practice, and then have some like STEM practice, or you would just put it as two separate assignments for kids?
You would do two separate assignments.
And then what about for like at the end of an assignment? So like if I went and did the STEM, put all the stems and made it, and then it's like, okay, but I want something like challenging at the end. Is there a way to then be like, okay, like I put all these stems together and now I want to like really have like a DOK 4 or like 3 as my last question? Is there like a easy way to understand how to do that? Does that make sense?
Right. The often option we have is to be able to take like that current stem, like that 5th grade stem OA3.
Yeah.
You could click add stems and go up.
Okay.
Going down. So now I just went up, and now this is telling us our next STEM that makes sense or standard is 6th grade EE2A. So that 5th grade OA3 is preparing kids for 6th grade EE2A. So it would take them to the next concept that they can grapple with. For higher level DOKs, we do have performance tasks that are in the system as well. I'll just kind of highlight, we do have a complete teacher guide as well for them, for the instructor to lead the kids through it.
Okay.
Yeah, that would definitely get to your higher DOK levels. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So everything is showed here today. You can do, you could actually influence, if you work well as a team, as a 5th grade team, you would have the ability also to push assignments across your grade level. If you wanted to do PLC time together, you get the data, we'll teach you how to look at the data, how you disaggregate it for your class, and down to subgroups. Christy could do the same thing from the administration office. District as well.
And you would see this with like all the extra practice. And I guess, like I said, I'm going to have to mess around with Edge Elastic. I'm probably going to be able to convince our principal, or like make a good argument. Because I like this, that it's like this seems more like a practice thing, where I feel like Edge Elastic is more of like an assessment based thing. But this is really like you'd use this for like all of your like daily instruction is the idea, or like all your daily assignments.
Exactly. I mean, you could literally walk into class and go, okay, kids, today's warm-up is, here you go. That's your warm-up.
Okay.
Cool. You could do that. You could issue exit tickets from it. Homework activities, class activities, you can do group activities. Really, all your instructional strategies sit all around this. And then you use the questions based off of your lesson structure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I think that's all the questions I have. It'll be interesting to see what kind of, feedback I get on this. And it's been kind of interesting this year with like moving away from our curriculum and supplementing with Engage in New York. Like, I feel like this seems like an easier, just put it all in one place rather than being like, I'm doing some stuff from here and some stuff from here. So I'm hoping, I know Albert was really excited about it. So I'll talk to our other 5th grade teacher about it. And then, if you could like send me a link to this video, I guess you've got my email, right?
I got your email. Yep.
If you could like send a link to this video so then I can share it with my principal and let her take a look at it, and then maybe, pass it along. I know there was